By the end of today's episode, you'll know all about what a day in the life of an agent or manager typically looks like. Welcome to the Actor's Career Compass, where we help aspiring screen actors find high-quality auditions, sign with great agents, and book major roles in legit productions. I'm your host, Martin Benson, and today we're talking about agents because the more you understand about how they run their business, the more likely they'll be willing to represent you, since you can tailor your strategy on giving them what they actually care about. I'll be covering how agents manage their time from early morning submissions to late night industry events, the challenges that they face and how you can make their job easier, and tips on how to develop a stronger relationship with them to increase your chances of success. So let's dive in. Here's what a typical day looks like for an agent or manager. Now, of course, remember, these things can be different depending on what time of day they do it. So this is not every agent or manager's day. It's just an overview. That's my disclaimer. All right, so morning. They do emails, submissions, and strategy, right? So as we all do, we try to get through emails, right? Agents start their day oftentimes by looking through tons of emails that they get from casting directors or clients or contacts that they have in the industry. And these emails include audition requests, casting breakdowns, and updates on different projects, right? They're also going to be searching through sites like Breakdown Express or casting networks to find roles that are good or match their client roster. They're going to be spending some time actually submitting their clients, right? So they're going to submit the headshots and reels and resumes for each role. Each submission is basically going to be adjusted or tailored to show why their client is as good of a fit as possible for the role, because they're trying to convince the casting director to let their client get an audition. They're also going to be thinking about plans, right? So they're going to be looking at trends or upcoming shows and thinking about which clients they want to focus on for new opportunities. So this is what they're doing early in the morning most of the time. Now let's go to mid-morning prior to lunch, right? So at this point, they're probably involved with some negotiations and follow-ups because other people have kind of caught up with their work. And so now people are starting to communicate with each other. So emails back and forth are starting to take place. So they might work on securing deals. So when a client is booking a role, the agent is going to negotiate their contract. They're going to make sure that their pay or perks and whatever other terms and contractual obligations are going to obviously be suitable for their actor and that they meet whatever union regulations there are, like in SAG-AFTRA. They might also have phone calls with different people in the industry to discuss pay rates and other specifics around their clients' bookings. They're also probably going to be following up on submissions. So agents are going to check in with casting directors after auditions take place to get feedback or to try to get their clients' callbacks. Next is lunch, right? So a lot of agents, depending on how busy they are, might network during lunch. So there's certain industry lunches sometimes, right? They can go to these things and build relationships with different casting directors and producers and other agents. They might just meet up one-on-one with someone and discuss a project or pitch a client for a future role. And they also might do some phone calls. So if they're not meeting with other people, then they may try to squeeze in a call or two. So they'll bring their headphones and sit at a restaurant or quick lunch place and just kind of call their clients and update or advise them on things. Next is the afternoon, right? So at this point, they're dealing with more client relations with their actors, and they're also solving some problems, right? They might have seen an email come in at night and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to deal with this at some point. And so they've pushed it back. They've kind of let their unconscious brain mull it over during the morning and afternoon. And now they're actually going to deal with the problem, right? So during the afternoon, they may be involved with coaching or giving their clients some notes. So when it comes to very important auditions, right, some agents and especially managers are going to help their clients prepare. They're going to discuss specific characters that they're playing and how they might be able to do the performance best, or they might specifically just recommend an acting coach to them. And then they're also going to be dealing with last minute issues like scheduling conflicts or changes with auditions. And they're probably going to be actively pitching their clients to casting directors or producers through emails and calls. So that is sort of happening throughout much of the day. Finally, in the evening, when agents are not trying to relax and catch a break at the end of the day, they may be attending industry events. Okay, so they're going to go to premieres, screenings, or red carpets to support their clients and continue building their own network. And they're basically just going to form relationships there that can be used to help their clients later on. Now, some of the challenges that agents face include time management, unpredictability, and emotions. Okay, so when it comes to time management, they need to be able to balance all the schedules of multiple clients and deal with the deadlines. And that can be tough, especially when a client takes a long time to respond. Next, unpredictability. So the job is really fast-paced and unexpected auditions and issues are always popping up. So they have to deal with those problems. And they hate when more unpredicted stuff pops up that they didn't have to deal with prior, which is, again, why you don't want to bother agents with a minor problem. You want to try to solve it on your own, or in worst case scenario, send them an email and say, hey, briefly, this is what I'm dealing with. Do you recommend I do option A or option B? And you actually list them out so the agent doesn't have to think and try to come up with their own solution for it. Finally, emotions, right? So agents are not just managing logistics for projects, but they're also dealing with their clients' emotions. And so they need to offer encouragement if an actor has dealt with, rejection from an audition or something, and just kind of the craziness of the industry. And some actors think that their agent is sort of their emotional support person, which can definitely be a challenge to add to all the other things that the agent is dealing with. Okay, so from all that I shared, I hope that you can see how busy agents are. And that's why I recommend just a few specific things. Number one, respect their time. Number two, be grateful. Number three, be proactive. And number four, trust them. Okay, so when it comes to being proactive, what I mean is just do your best to update your materials and do whatever you can to make their job as easy as possible. And then when it comes to trusting them, right, you want to be patient and confident in their process because they're usually working hard behind the scenes. If you haven't seen any results in a long time, I do have some other podcast episodes that talk about that. But for now, this is kind of a good overview for what agents deal with. And if you want to dive deeper on agents, I actually recommend that you check out a different podcast episode that I did. It's called Not Hearing Back from Agents When You Submit, Do This. And it's episode number 101. You're going to learn a lot about the process of getting signed by agents. Okay, so again, episode number 101, Not Hearing Back from Agents When You Submit, Do This. And it's on the Actors Career Compass. Also, if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, you can learn more about how that works on my website, martinbenson.com. We chat together for a bit and we'll see if the coaching program is a good fit and can help you in your acting career. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.